Hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead Pater with you today. I have squeezed in the rows here in the Back to Eden garden. I wanted to do a fall update for you and show you how well this has absolutely worked out for our farm. And to encourage you right now, it's fall, okay? It's October. Can you believe we're pushing into mid-October? So right now is the time for you to start prepping for next spring. I know that's kind of a shock to some people because if you till, you just think, I'm going to start prepping a whole lot more in the, late winter, early spring. No, technically you need to be really preparing now. You really should already be there. So what I just want to say is I'm going to show you the Back to Eden garden. Now you're looking at it, it ain't looking so hot, right? Well, technically a lot of folks would have started pulling their gardens, say last month. And due to the fact that I was still getting tomatoes, and then we had a different turn of events in our family, I just let the garden sit. And I want to show you the amount of tomatoes we are still getting. I am literally giving tomatoes away. I am not overly, but abundantly feeding my chickens and goats wonderful tomatoes and scraps. Now, not the plants, obviously, but the actual tomatoes itself. So I have got probably a whole bushel here of tomatoes that I've just picked, and I'm not even done. So while a lot of the tomato plants are coming down, I still have a lot of green tomatoes. We've just let it linger a little bit, and I'm sort of glad that happened. At first I was very upset because I was like, oh, I want to get this done, I want to get this cleaned out and whatnot. But I think God is showing me how well this method can work for you if you really put your heart and mind to it. And granted, there's certain places that it's going to work maybe a little bit better than others. I get that. So, Back to Eden, does it work? You better believe it. I kind of tried to get in here in the shade. So what I want to show you is how many tomatoes I've just gotten. I'm about to put these into the crock pots. I'm going to make more marinara. You can't make too much, in my opinion, of stewed tomatoes and crock pot marinara and all of that stuff. We go through that like wildfire here on our farm. What I want to tell you, what I'm specifically doing is now I'm coming through and I am cleaning up. So if I've got a good portion of a plant or an area like right here, I've got about 10 tomatoes right there. They're not exactly ready yet. I've got a little bit of green, a little bit of slightly orange, then I've got a couple that are really turning really nicely. I'm going to leave that, but I'm going to cut away the rest of it. I'm trying to start cleaning it out, okay? And I'm doing it a row or two at a time. I'm also in here, number one, I think what's been really effective with this gardening method, guys, here it is. I just talked to some folks this week. Cattle panels are just incredible. Now you're gonna have to work with them, okay? Just because you stick something in the ground does not mean that you're not going to have to work with the plant, with the item. You're gonna have to, these have to be trellised up, okay? So you need to find methods that work best for you. Those clips worked really well. You may want to use some soft cloth. There's different things that you can use for that. Number two, spacing. Hello. Guys, after several years of gardening in different ways and different places and different things, I'm telling you, you've got to give yourself a lot of space. Don't be greedy and thinking, I'm going to stick 100 plants in one area 18 inches apart, and you're going to have nothing but a wild jungle, and then you're going to lose a lot of things. Particularly with tomato plants, you're going to have lots of disease issue. You're going to have them firing up with blight. Okay, that's something I'm specifically trying to get at. I can tell you right now that my method for tomato plants is minimum of 4 feet apart in all directions. Honestly, even with this, it works so well, I think I could have pushed 5 feet. Because, you've seen in a couple of videos, the plants get so big. I prune, I try to keep really nice circulation in between, and they're just coming together in all directions. It's because the soil is so good. So think about your spacing, think about really good standards in terms of your trellising, okay? Know that right up front. I also feel that your composting is great. The wood chips were the last method. This was a lasagna garden, if you've seen my video, the lasagna garden for 3 years. And then now I've come in with the wood chips. So that's worked very well for me up here. Another thing that I want to mention is the Aqua Cones. Again, gardenersupply.com. Right now is a great time for you to grab a set, grab 2 sets, put them away. You get 6 of them. I've got a whole video on that, and you can go to gardenersupply.com and check them out. You get 6 of them for $9.95, okay? Grab a couple sets, put them away. Maybe you have a birthday in January, get you another set. Before you know it, you're going to have enough aqua cones for a really nice tomato patch and even a pepper patch. I use them for my peppers. So I really want you to think about these things now in the fall. In terms of starting your garden, you need to look at what you have in terms of your mulch and your natural entities to build your soil up, okay? You know, your leaves right now, you know, leaves are going to be abundant for you. Leaves, your grass clippings, because you're probably still mowing like we are, okay? Manure. I just cleaned out my boy and I just cleaned out the chicken coop yesterday. I've got a whole wheelbarrow of unbelievable manure and different things like that. We've got the cow. Work with what's around you, what you have access to. Make sure it's not treated. Talk to your neighbors. That's just a little hint right there. What I'm going to be doing, like I said, is cleaning out in between the rows, and I'm going to start pulling back my wood chips. I'm pulling them back, and I'm going to be adding in manure. I'm adding in all of the things I just mentioned. And then I'm putting my wood chips back on top, and then I'm going to be adding more wood chips. Because remember, I'm beginning in my layering here in terms of making sure that my wood chips are on top. I got that giant compost pile or composting pile of wood chips over by the barn, and I've been checking it, and the heat and the weather, when you start to pull it away, it's just black. It's really breaking down. We got a really good pile going there. So the goal here of this video is to show you, yeah, you're going to see some mess, but you're going to see a heck of a lot of tomatoes for mid-October. I've never had this much produce continue to push with any of my gardens this late in the season. My other garden over there has been way finished, way done, honey. She closed down a while ago. It's not back to Eden. The back to Eden, I've still kept a lot of zinnias going. My basil is still flourishing. My tomatoes were flourishing. Even my green beans kept on in this soil. So you need to know that. So start prepping, thinking ahead. Hope this encourages you on to, to try the lasagna style gardening. If you can't get your hands on wood chips, try to get your hands on hay, old straw. Like I said, grass clippings, manure. Start working with compost. There's just a lot of great ways that you can, there's more than one way to skin this cat. Okay, so I encourage you on that. We'll show you the tomatoes and just tell you what we're doing, how wonderful this is, and let's show you these tomatoes. That's enough of me here in the midst of the shadows of the tomato plants. Let's check these tomatoes out. Okay, guys. Some of these are not, they've got a couple little blemishes, but I'm taking this inside. We're going to cut them. We're going to put them in the crock pot. This is going to take me 2 days. And there may be a few in here that I'm going to end up losing and feeding to the chickens. But see what I'm talking about over here? I mean, clearly this is spent, guys, okay? That's got to come on out. Lots of things going to the compost pile. See how wonderful this is? You're building your compost, and you're also still punishing your own pantry. See what I'm talking about? Still have green tomatoes here. Look here, red tomato, the whole 9 yards. So, I mean, yeah, it's a mess. It should be. This is what gardening starts to look like. And there's my tripod. All of this mess over here. Look here. I even stepped on a mater. Isn't that gross? Oh, we'll live. So look here. So, I mean, it's still, look, I'm not joking. I mean, this just continues on and on. So I'm pulling out the old stuff, as you can see. But some of this is still really good. Look at that. Look. There's just still coming on. So I'm just saying, in a normal gardening situation, this would have all been long gone by now. I would have had this long gone because, you're like, well, I'll get a couple stragglers, or I'm going to take all my greens and we're going to fry them up, baby. And we're still doing all that. But due to circumstances, it sat longer. And guys, we haven't had any rain. Do you know how big of a drought we are right now? I'm not joking. Tennessee, in East Tennessee, I haven't seen a good rain, guys, in weeks upon weeks. Does this look like a problem? Yeah, some of it's drying off, seasonal, yeah, whatever. But I'm telling you, this method is just fantastic. In fact, let's look. See all my chips? There's my chips. Look, and I got a good amount of chips. I mean, it's dry, right on top. But look here, I'm pulling down. I'll have some nasty fingernails later. Look here. I mean, honestly, there's some moisture in here, okay? So, I mean, it's not like desert dry where I can't even really pull away. So I just want to encourage you on this method. Try it out. Be patient. Do not give up. Yeah, you're going to get some weeds. Yeah, you might have a few nasty things come on. Just so you know, I have not treated this garden. Let me repeat this before I close this video down. This garden up here has not, up here, been treated with diatomaceous earth this year. This garden has not been treated with any chemicals such as Seven Dust or anything funky town like that. This garden up here has not been treated with neem oil. This garden has not been treated with my natural fungicide, which I make with water, a gallon of water, your baking soda, your Dawn, and your vegetable oil. I didn't do any of that up here. I hope you hear me out on that. So, just to let you know, really try it out. Some of my tomato plants got so big over in this patch over here, they were the ones that were not on the cattle panel, were falling over. And I warned you they would, because they did it last year. The soil is just that good. So I'm just saying, these methods, if you apply them correctly, and it's not hard, and if you're patient and you let it build, okay, I'm going on year 4 now, okay? This is really going to work for you, okay? And you just got to put your back into it to get it going and to keep it going and to know that you're still going to have to tend to it from time to time and whatnot. It's really going to work out for you. I hope you try it out. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. Just wanted to update you. You're going to get this soil continuing to push forward for next spring. Thank the Lord. Hallelujah. Love it. Talk to you soon, guys. Have a great continual winter and spring prep because it matters. Y'all take care.